BWI, Bath and Body Works, the March 60 calls active, Bravo Bravo Whiskey India, BBWI. Existing home sales, 6.5 million versus 6.1 million. (6.7%) plus 6.7% versus minus 1% expected on existing home sales. Conference Board leading index minus 0.3%. BWV IPO opening at $50. Now at $45, Blue Water Vaccines. Shares halted on a circuit breaker now on BWV. Shares were priced at $9 on at $50, Bravo Whiskey Victor. SKYH shares halted on a circuit breaker. On the way down now, $9.50, up 39%, 40%, off the highs of $11.29. That's SKYH. XPEL, XPEL introducing Ultimate Fusion, will be available worldwide beginning in Q2. That's X-Ray Papa Echo Lima, XPEL. FSRD halted on another circuit breaker, Foxtrot Sandy Romeo Delta, FSRD. Shares were halted again on a circuit breaker. BRNA, Greenlight Biosciences, halted again on a circuit breaker at the high, $12.36. SKYH, Sky Harbor resuming trade. Foxtrot Sandy Romeo Delta. Actually, resuming trade now after a circuit breaker halt, hit a high of $8.36. Now at 641, that's FSRD. FSRD fast radius halted on a circuit breaker. Foxtrot Sandy Romeo Delta. $5.85. DE Deere company on their conference call now says expects 2022 production at Precision AG net sales to increase 25 to 30%, outpacing all other segments. That on their conference call. ANGH Shangami resuming trade now after another halt. Alpha November Golf Hotel. VWAP resuming trade now after a circuit breaker halt. Bravo Whiskey Victor now at 41.80. And halted again on a circuit breaker. IPO for today. Trading on very, very low volume now, 364% from the $9 offering price. That's Bravo Whiskey Victor BWV. J&J, Johnson & Johnson. New phase 2B data show the majority of adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis achieved clinical response with Tremfya at 12 weeks. That's J&J from their Janssen unit. Janssen says from their phase 2B quasar induction study 1 showed about 60% of patients achieved primary endpoint of clinical response. That's Juliet, November, Juliet, J&J. BRCT, Direct Digital, spiking here $2.78 and halted on a circuit breaker now. That's Delta Romeo Charlie Tango. BRCT. Beer shares trading down about 2.3% now, hit a high of 392.96 following their earnings earlier in the pre-market. Now trading lower at 371.77. That's DE Deer following their earnings release. FSRD, fast radius shares resumed, now at 528, pulling back more now from the highs, down up 38% still. FSRD, Foxtrot, Sandy Romeo Delta. Letter F, Ford, Bloomberg headline, Ford CEO considering ways to run the electric vehicle business separately. That's letter F. Ford shares popping on that. $18.24. BWV, Blue Water Vaccines, now at 41.81, halted again on a circuit breaker, up 364% now from its offering price of $9. Hit a high of $50 right at the open, now at 41.81. That's Bravo Whiskey Victor, BWV. EE, General Electric, in a filing providing some guidance. Says, while we are seeing progress in our strategic priorities, we continue to see supply chain pressures across most of our businesses as material and labor availability and inflation are affecting healthcare, renewable energy, and aviation. Although varied by business, we expect these challenges should persist at least through the first half of the year. That's GE Golf Echo. As included within the annual guidance we have provided, HSD organic growth 150 basis points plus organic margin expansion $2.80 to $3.50, earnings per share $5.5 to $6.5 billion free cash flow. Shares of GE now off the lows at 95.81. Golf Echo GE. Shares of Ford popping here now, continuing to move higher, $18.31. The company's CEO Jim Farley speaking today at the Wolf Research Virtual Global Auto Tech and Mobility Conference. Actually, that's a correction on that. Those 4 comments coming from a Bloomberg report, a correction on that, from CEO Jim Farley. That's letter F. Ford hitting $18.33. Report that Ford is looking to separate its electric vehicle operations from its legacy business. Ford shares hitting $18.38 at the high. PEBK, People's Bancorp of North Carolina, board authorized stock repurchase program up to $2 million and announcing dividend increase. That's PEBK. VWV shares halted on a circuit breaker at 49.38. That's Bravo Whiskey Victor, BWV.
This pullback on Ford looks interesting for a 9 moving average bounce.
Hey, Brian.
Megan, you're back.
I'm back. Wow, yeah, Ford had a lot of volume. Yeah, Ford had a lot of volume come in.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Just for a laugh, I'll take a long here at 1816. See if I can get a bounce off the 9 moving average.
Letter F, Ford.
So what did I tell you guys?
Circulating an
perfect
article
short
from
off a
February
9
1st,
moving average on the 2-minute chart on
Ford may
NVDA.
spend $20 billion extra and spin off its EV operations with a new plan.
This chart, I just find this almost is so reliable. You can just watch that 9 EMA moving average on a 2-minute chart. Almost, it's almost scary how predictable it can be. You can see exactly what happened. It sold off. We consolidated. We came right back to the 9 moving average. Basically, just got there and then rejection, bang. As Andrew mentioned, I think 232. That's a S4 level. I don't know how that correlates with Megan on the longer time frames on NVIDIA. I haven't looked.
Yeah, let me take a look. Let's see. It's hard to see with the pivots, so I always take those off. Yeah, I actually have a range that I set on here previously. It's around 230, so it's pretty close to that. Let me get a draw a little line here.
Okay, I've just lightened up on TZA a little bit here at 234.75. Now, so we dropped below the 9, but now we're bouncing off the kind of trying to bounce off the VWAP here on Ford. Didn't quite get down to it. Kind of a 920 trade. Problem is the SPY gave up the previous day close and is leaking lower now, and that's why and that's partly why we're losing all these levels on different stocks here.
Yeah, that level on SPY is if you look at the daily, I'll pull that up real quick. Kind of got let me get my pen. It's this area right here on the daily.
Okay.
That it's breaking through. So yeah, it's we've got the bottom of like this candle right here on the dip down. And then you see it kind of struggling right here to get back above. And just kind of held here. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting area for sure. Oops. Yeah, when I opened the SPY this morning, this is the bottom range that I was looking at. So it's on it right now. This is a daily level. And then it wicked off of it from the top side this morning. So I've been watching just this all day. And for me, part of the reason why I haven't taken any trades is because I don't want to trade in here. I feel safest when I'm like on these higher time frame levels. So I've definitely just been watching these areas to see if when it's here or up here, if it sets up with one of my stocks that I'm looking at. And what's interesting today is the top of this too, this daily level is also R3. So I was mentioning yesterday when they're really paired, you get like a greater chance of either a reversal or a breakout.
Right.
Yeah. Been watching Cisco to see if it's gonna reverse, but volume on it's not great.
Yeah, I mean, when, there's, to just explain what I meant about the SPY losing at a level, there's stocks that are in play, like obviously Ford's in play for some reason. Their Roku's in play today, obviously, because of earnings. Same with
INST and Structure
DKNG.
Holdings.
But and then there's
Structure
all the other
Holdings
stocks
CEO
that,
Steve Daly
they're
to
just
appear on
trading,
Benzinga's live YouTube TV at 12:15 p.m.
not
Eastern
necessarily
Time
on
today,
any
Friday.
news. And
That's
so
India,
those are
November,
the
Sandy
ones that are
Tango,
going
INST.
to be more sensitive to market direction. So, if the market sort of drops overall, or if you've got a sector that's dropping, like the SOXL, the semiconductor index today is particularly weak. It's going to be, it's just going to drag all the stocks down with it. It's kind of like a rising tide floats all boats. There's a few boats that are, that are anchored or whatever, are doing their own thing, but the rest of the boats are just rising and falling with to some degree with the market.
Right.
So
yeah, I think that's, I think my trading definitely turned around when I actually started paying attention to,
EMG,
the markets or the sectors and
CVGW,
stuff. And I know that like in the
USDA
beginning of
Avocado
trading for a
Import
lot of
Bank could
people,
be
it's like,
resolved today.
it's hard enough to
That
watch
from
one
AMLO.
stock, let alone like be watching the market at the same time. So
Yeah.
that definitely takes a while to get used to. And once you do, you can it's so helpful. It's so helpful.
Yeah. So I just keep a chart of the SPY over here in this corner here, and I just it's just a matter of continually scanning your charts.
And AVW
Funny,
along with
I used to be
CVGW on
I
that
used to
avocado
fly,
news. Alpha Victor
and
Oscar.
I got an instrument rating at one point, and when you're flying on instruments, it's kind of the same principle. You're just you're ignoring what's going on outside, but you're just continually scanning things, and that's really what you're doing when you're sitting in front of your screen trading. You're just scanning charts constantly. Your eyes should be, unless you're in a trade and just concentrating on that, your eyes should always be kind of moving around.
Exactly.
Yeah. Megan, what are you going to do with your extra day? I am still in Ford. I'm hoping it looks, I almost took some off there at 20, but it wasn't really much of a risk to reward. I'm hoping that it's going to hold the 9 now and go up, but I'm, if it drops below the 9 again, I'm just going to bail on it. Yeah.
This is a fun area, because if it does break this, then we've got basically this to the top side, right? Like not a lot of like congestion areas to get through. So that's fun.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I took a small size, so I'm not trading at this time of day. I don't find I find it's a little bit you got to be a little bit more patient with your trades. You got to be a little bit more picky about your entries, and I'm just I think the SPY might have another leg down here. We are sitting at low of day, low of pre-market. So, and I think we're going lower, honestly. So you know what? I'm getting out of my Ford trade here at 18.19.
The orange moving average is my 200. This guy right here. And no, I didn't end up taking Cisco. I actually didn't want it for a long. I actually want it for a short. So I've been watching it for a reversal, but it's not lining up exactly how I want it. So, and I can show you what I'm talking about. I really like I really like this weekly level here, or this daily level. But I like it when it's a little bit closer to R4 or R3 when we're up here. So I'm a little unsure about it. So that's why I haven't taken it yet. If we lose this and come back down, I might be interested, but not quite sure yet.
It's an EMA. I'm not sure. I played with EMA and SMA. And
Stocks
it
new
seems
lows
like,
here. S&P 500 futures
you know,
a
the
new
reason
low
this is
at
working is because
43.58
my
and
understanding from
3/4.
talking to
That's
a lot of
down
traders,
nearly
day traders, is that
0.4%.
a lot of them use the 9 EMA on a 2-minute chart. And so that's why you see this pattern so regularly play out. Is, you know, when they short and long off, they trade around the 9 moving average. So on a big drop, they'll cover their position if it's a short. Then they'll wait for the 9, or for the price action to take the stock back to the 9 moving average. As soon as it hits there, they add back on their short again. And then it's just you know, that's the way some traders just trade. They just continually trading around you know, they have one big position and they just go in and out. So we are getting
And
to
that's
a
when you
time
get
of day.
you get the Christmas tree, but the good kind. The good kind.
The good kind, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we are getting to a time of day here. Maybe we might be flattening out a bit. The selling looks like NVIDIA. The selling might be tapering off. That's not to say there may be more downside, because again, we've done this big drop at 10:30. There was some big selling that came in as soon as we touched the 9 moving average. And then you get this long period of sort of chop sideways that brings the price action back to the 9.